Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Big Daddy Teach! And I'm super excited to be bringing you guys the first episode in what I hope will be a series of videos called Lunch Break. Basically giving you guys just a mini little video to watch, hopefully while you're on your lunch, hanging out, wondering what's going on, wanting to get my impressions or thoughts on something that I consider to be relevant in my life and gaming and stuff I would want to talk to you guys about on stream anyway. Today we're talking about the Destiny 2 reveal. The event that happened out in LA yesterday was a huge deal, and we got all kinds of new information about Destiny 2, and I'm excited to share my thoughts with you. Hope you enjoy it.
First up, I want to talk about the Guardians, guys. So we're back again with Hunter, Warlock, and Titans. And the first thing that I noticed right away as soon as we get into some gameplay was that there was an obvious third ability in addition to the melee and grenades on each Guardian. And as the reveal kind of went on, I realized that for the Titan, that's various types of deployable cover. For Warlocks, that's a couple different types of rifts. And then the Hunter seems to have some sort of dodge roll or twirl. I think this is awesome. It is confirmed that Intellect, Discipline, and Strength are gone. In fact, all the cooldowns are universal across all abilities and all Guardians. So this seems to be a way to kind of balance out the playing field and not allow people quite as much customization in terms of how they want their character to play in-game. I think I'm okay with this. Although normalization as a whole is something that we're going to get into a little bit later in this video, so stay tuned for that. The next thing, obviously new supers, guys. This is so exciting! I'm so excited. We saw new supers. We saw the Warlock Dawnblade, the Titan Sentinel, and the Hunter Arcstrider. Guys, this is so cool, right? We love this. I think the Hunter, it looks the coolest with all its spinning around acrobatics, and arc staff is awesome. Titan Captain America throwing a shield around is going to be super fun, feels so fresh and so different. And then the Warlock Dawnblade having either the kind of ground capabilities or the ability to kind of throw beams from the sword, kind of like Boltcaster, the exotic sword from Destiny 1. That looks super duper cool. I'm so excited for these guys. I think it's great. I think the Arcstrider is a little bit similar to Blade Dancer, aside from the fact that the Hunter, clearly with Arcstrider has an AoE attack. You can slam the ground and do some damage, something the Hunter has really never been able to do before, which is kind of cool. So that's going to separate it. But overall, the movement and the fluidity of the Arcstrider does seem very similar to Blade Dancer, so we'll see how that actually plays out once the game comes out. And also, guys, I noticed that based on some of the videos I've seen, the standard supers are changed. So Fist of Havoc is now roaming, and you can have multiple fists that I'm sure are smaller in scale. And also 6 golden gun shots. I saw that from Luminosity's gameplay. He was showing off that there's plenty of golden gun shots to go around, guys. This seems to be kind of in balance with how the Golden Gun really felt underappreciated once Titan Hammers came out, because they had 6 hammers that were essentially slower firing Golden Gun shots. So it was a little unbalanced for me there, so glad to see that they're kind of bringing supers up to feel equal, which I like. Let's talk a little bit about the story. The story looks awesome. The opening cutscene, Homecoming, I could not be more excited for this. Zavala and Ikora and Cade showing off their amazing Vanguard superpowers looked so cool. I mean, just watching the moment when Ikora threw a Nova Bomb at the Cabal ship and then jumped on it while it flew away, she's just such a badass, and I think that looks awesome. So I think that if that opening cinematic is any kind of indication as to what the game's going to feel like, this is going to be Destiny's most amazing story yet. I really want to know more about the Hawthorne character. Obviously, she's going to play a huge role in the game. The Special Edition backpack is named after her. She has a pretty distinct appearance in the trailer, so that's super exciting, and I want to know more about how she's going to play a role in the story. And then, of course, Gaul, right? This is a great villain that I'm super excited to fight because I already hate him. He put a cage around my Traveler, man, and that pisses me off, and I really want to hate him, and I want to fight him, and I want to bring him down in what I'm sure is going to be a fantastic raid. So I'm really excited for the story. I think that's going to be the main driving force behind where I get most of my enjoyment from Destiny 2 right off the start. I want to talk about Destiny 2 from a technical perspective. Here's what we know so far, guys. The Scorpio system was not mentioned. Microsoft's Xbox Scorpio project was not mentioned at all. PS4 Pro was mentioned, that the game's going to be able to run at 4K, 30 frames a second on the PS4 Pro. The 30 frames per second is locked on all consoles. That is how it's going to be, and I'm perfectly okay with this, guys. I know it's a controversial opinion. I love that it's going to be 30 frames a second. I'm not a very competitive, online shooter player, so I'm okay with the fact that it's going to be locked at 30 frames. It's going to be a super cinematic story experience. It's going to run smooth. It's going to look great, and it's not going to have that kind of sped up, fake handy cam appearance that I think some games suffer for when they go right up to 60. Xbox Play Anywhere is obviously not going to be a thing now that Blizzard is the sole proprietor for all things Destiny 2 on PC. there still are no dedicated servers. Even on the PC side, even with all the magical powers that Blizzard has, Bungie has confirmed that we're still on peer-to-peer servers, guys. So I don't know if that's going to be a huge factor. They are saying they're working on making matchmaking that much better, even though it's going to be peer-to-peer. So I'm kind of still holding reserve judgment on that. I'm not too optimistic, but we'll have to see once the game comes out. Let's talk about what we saw from a gameplay perspective, guys. All multiplayer has been shifted to 4v4. I think this is a positive change. It definitely harps back to Bungie's roots with Halo and Halo 2, and even, you know, parts of Halo 3. One-person power ammo is another big thing here. So at Destiny 1, you had the heavy crate, everybody crowds around, you all get heavy. Now it's whoever rips it gets the heavy, and that's it. Only that one person. Again, I think that this goes back to them trying to bring it back to a Halo 2 kind of universe where instead of one player getting the power weapon on the map, one player gets the power ammo for their weapon of choice on the map. I don't think this is going to create as much anti-team toxicity as people seem to think it is. Seems like a positive change in a 4v4 environment. Energy weapons, guys. So kinetic and energy weapons. Energy weapons are going to do extra damage to their equivalent super. So if you see a Titan running around with his arc and you have an arc weapon on hand, that weapon will do more damage to that player in PvP. Kind of like how it works in PvE right now. I think this is a super positive change, and in addition to making those supers have a little bit more abilities, Golden Gun has more shots, Titan has multiple smashes, etc., means that you'll be able to melt through them a little faster with those energy-based weapons. So that'll be a really neat kind of luck of the draw chance to see if you have the right gun for the super you're going up against. Pretty cool. Clans I'm super excited about, guys. I think it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to get started on designing my clan banner. It's going to give us a great opportunity to share in clan rewards, which is amazing. It's going to let us recruit new players and usher in new players to experience that end-game content. And I think that it's going to be a really, really community-driven, game-centric way to bring Destiny fans together in ways that hasn't been possible before. Here's what is unconfirmed and my little end bit of speculation. This is where I'll end the video today, guys. I speculate that eSports is going to play a big role in Destiny 2. I know that they chose not to talk about it on this reveal stream. I think that was smart. But I think that Activision owning MLG plus the competitive scene for Call of Duty not being quite what it used to be, people seem to be really getting into competitive Destiny. Plus, you look back at, and I said we were going to talk about this, the normalization of stuff across the game board. All supers seeming to be the same and balanced. No more intellect discipline. Everybody has the same cooldowns and recharge rates. No more, special weapons dominating encounters. You have those only as power weapons now. This is going to be a primary-driven, competitive gameplay, and I would be surprised if we didn't see esports play a role in that. My opinion is that that's not great. I'm not a huge fan, guys. I don't love that. I think that Destiny has been smart to avoid that scene, because with that comes a whole different community that, from my experience, usually results in a very aggressive community population. And the last thing of speculation, guys, is I'm really hoping that Bungie announces cross-save functionality. I do not want to see cross-play functionality, guys. I think the PC would have way too much of an advantage over console players. Sony and Microsoft will never play nice to enable cross-play to their platform. So if anything, it would be PC to consoles. And I think that the PC players would have an incredible PvP advantage over the console players, and that's why they won't do that. But I do hope that for the sake of content creators and anybody who wants to play across 3 consoles, or even 2, that they do enable cross-save functionality. So your character, your armor, your weapons, everything that you've done on one platform is available and unlocked for you on all 3 platforms. That's kind of my biggest wish for Destiny, and even though they didn't talk about it yesterday, I really hope that it's something that we see coming down the pipeline in the future.
Well, that does it for the first episode of Lunch Break. I hope you guys had a blast hanging out with me here in the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and get updated on all the new and upcoming content that'll be coming on my YouTube channel. I know I gotta get better about this, guys, so I'm hopefully gonna start delivering videos to you more regularly. We'll see you next time.